Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we go. Game number 2 now in this 2-game series. Team DileCom versus Team Onyx. Here, looking forward to see what happens this time around. And you know, here we are in the start of this draft, and we do not see a ban yet on Meepo. I mean, we're just getting to the first pick now, but Team DileCom, they're still not insisting on banning the Meepo, at least yet. They banned Underlord as well as Coddle. You know, we talked about Coddle and how it's been so good for Team Onyx, so I mean, that's definitely understandable, but I'm in a little bit of shock. I'm not gonna lie that they did not ban the Meepo here. So I don't know if you feel the same way, Tsunami, who's my co-caster here. But what do you think? I did not hear you. 1 second. What? Okay, there we go. Say something.
Hello.
There we go. My bad. All right. Anyways, what do you think?
I think that Team Dialcom are the sacrificial lambs. They're doing it for the good of the North American region. They need to get as much data on this Onyx Abed Meepo before he just runs roughshod on the rest of the region. I mean, what's DC and NP going to do? They're not going to be able to play Onyx anymore in this tournament, right? So how do you prepare? It's all Dialcom. This is all tactical.
Well, the pick of the first pick, Ember Spirit, which again is a hero that has been overall doing very well in this event, but Juggernaut Earth Spirit response for Onyx, so they're not gonna rush to a Meepo pick by any means if they end up going into the end. I mean, again, we saw last game they didn't get to that fourth pick even, and you never want to pick it up too early either. There is the idea that you could allow the other team to kind of counter it pretty heavily.
Oh, you mean like how they would maybe pick 5 heroes that specifically counter a Meepo?
And still not work? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Just a little. No. Well, they are going to second pick here now, so we'll see what they go. But yeah, Juggernaut Earth Spirit for Team Onyx, so already a little bit different than what they had the first game. But a strong duo of heroes there.
Yeah, last game, Juggernaut was actually banned out by Onyx, so We'll see if they can fit a Meepo into this lineup. Last game, they had the safe lane Ember Spirit, which, as we saw, was not having the best lane, even with the Keeper of the Light support, which is now banned out this time. See, this is how Dialcom prioritizes their respect. They haven't seen too much of it. They're like, yeah, okay, I've seen the Meepo once. But, anyone gets lucky. But this Demon, 100% win rate, Keeper of the Light, Jesus Christ, we got to ban that out.
Yeah. And again, like I said, I mean, that's fair. When a team is 6-0 now with a hero like that, it's probably safe to assumptions like, okay, well, let's ban out this comfortable hero for them. Meepo, yeah, we'll see maybe if he comes out in a ban this time around. Like, now you would definitely expect to perhaps see a ban from Dialcom with the Meepo, but they don't. Yeah,
they pick Winter Wyvern, though. And you
true.
don't pick Winter Wyvern unless if you want a Winter's Curse of Meepo.
Okay.
10 seconds remaining.
So they're preemptively, again, getting ready for a possible Meepo pick is what you're saying.
Oh yes, most certainly. They've already run through 5 heroes. They're not going to pick any of those 5 heroes that didn't work in game 1. Now they're going to pick another 5 heroes. And they're going to keep running through the roster until they find something that works. Because, oh no, they banned it out. Oh, man.
I was just about to say, I wanted to let you go, but, I was like, not to ruin your parade, but...
I was going to get so passionate about it. I was about to be like, yo, if there's, you gotta, it's like, so I play a fair amount of fighting games, right? And so sometimes there's a matchup that you just don't know. And if you are very protective about your points and like your rank and stuff like that, then you'll be like, whatever, I don't want to fight this guy again because he's just going to keep stealing my points. But how am I ever going to learn how to beat that character then, right?
Oh, that's fair. No, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, it's like, oh, well, sure, you can practice against other players that happen to play Meepo. It's like, well, it's hard to play against somebody that's exactly. It's a unique player, arguably one of the best, if not the best, from what I've been hearing. So we did see an example of that in that first game. So all right, but we're not going to see it here. So I think the Abed Meepo discussion is going to be over for now, at least for this game. Probably not. We'll probably still talk about it, but. It is banned, so he's not going to be playing it. But now, who does he play? Like he doesn't play any other heroes, right? So now he just leaves. And
yeah, it's pretty much that. It's pretty much him and Badman Spectre, and then once you ban out those heroes, they're just not able to compensate.
Yeah. No, I assume he can safely play other typical mid pickups.
He's
Meepo.
so according to his Dota buff, geez, he has a 93% win rate with Meepo out of 15 games. That's amazing, actually.
Competitive play, yeah.
So yeah, he has a fair amount of wins on Shadowfiend. Invoker is actually his most played hero, and then Timbersaw and Mirana are also up there on the list. So he's a very versatile player. Don't let us being starstruck about his Meepo make you think that he's a one-trick pony here.
Yeah. No, I'm sure he'll do just fine, whatever other hero that they decide to give him now. I will say Team DileCom has used a lot of time thinking about these bans. Even the Meepo ban, it took them a little bit before they decided to go with it, and now they're thinking about their fourth ban here as they yet again dip into reserve time. It's going to be Invoker, so they do go another middle option.
Are they looking at the same thing that I am, I guess?
Possibly.
Because the reason that they picked Winter Wyvern is because Winter Wyvern has the highest win rate against Meepo. So I thought they were just prowling Dota buff. They're like, guys, what do we do here?
Yeah. Well, now third pick for Onyx.
It begs the question, which I don't really know what this Winter Wyvern is doing now, because I guess it's good against Omni Slash. There's a lot of physical damage, but you're showing a specific counterpick to one hero very early on in the draft, and Juggernaut's just one hero. Earth Spirit and Rubik have a ton of magic damage on the other hand, and Winter Wyvern is not great against that. And Winter Wyvern's also not great against heroes that can take advantage of setup. So you cold embrace one of your allies, they're going to get stunned and silenced by Earth Spirit, and then who knows whatever else Onyx can pick, because Onyx does pay... Abed does play a fair amount of Mirana, and Mirana loves it when a hero is sitting still for a few seconds.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Winter Wyvern is going to be a thing for DileCom, so we'll see what use they are able to make of it, now that they already have it. But Onyx exactly has the chance now to pick around said hero if they would like. They go the Rubik, and now the third pick for DileCom will just be a Sand King here, so solid off-lane option, more than likely you'd expect that to be. Back over to Onyx. Still need their mid, we figure, as well as their own offlane that we got to see here. So, see what they choose. Darkseer is still on the board. He's kind of been a popular offlaner again, I feel like, as of late. So, if he could be
I could definitely see that. Another element of magic damage. Put that on a Juggernaut whenever he's mid Omni Slash or mid Blade Fury and surge him up, and that's a real nightmare for a lot of heroes. And Sand King on the enemy offlane is a pretty good matchup against Juggernaut. Most offlaners get bullied out between the threat of Healing Ward and then just one other support being around, but Sand King can kind of hold his own against a Juggernaut compared to other offlane heroes. And Onyx goes for the Shadow Fiend, which another one of Abed's favorites, I suppose, based off of his high played heroes, like I mentioned, pretty high win rate on him.
And speaking of Darkseer, I totally meant to say DileCom's going to get it, because that's what happens right
That's
here.
what I heard.
Yeah, that's a little curious, though, because so that means it's going to be a 4 Sand King, most likely. Unless they plan on running like a jungle Darkseer and still the offlane Sand King. But
which is possible. I've been seeing a lot of Iron Talon Darkseer. It's not exclusively jungle. Usually he'll migrate around to a few lanes, getting ion shells on people, and then kind of letting them farm on his behalf. But I would prefer, like, Darkseer also does very well against Juggernaut, but then Sand King kind of has a hard time fitting into the draft, because if he doesn't manage to get levels, then it's not really easy for him to transition into being a good initiator, and Darkseer can get farm elsewhere.
And they go Sven to finish it, so they like the idea of the cleave down melee carry. Omni Knight, very quick response there for Onyx. For a final pick, at least. So either they just like it against the Sven, or they just simply were planning that from the beginning. But it is going to be an Omni Knight final pick, and we're ready now. So that was an interesting finish, to say the least, here, Tsunami. What do you think?
I feel like someone on DileCom didn't tell them that they banned out Meepo, because all of DileCom's heroes are once again very good against Meepo. Sven is really good, Winter Wyvern's really good, Sand King's really good, and if Ember Spirit goes the former right-click sleight of fist build, it's also quite good against Meepo. But they have plenty of synergies within these heroes against any enemy carry. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Meepo. Cleave is good against everyone, and whenever you can vacuum, Burrow Strike, or get all people bunched up in a Winter's Curse, then Sven has a grand old time.
10 seconds remaining.
So Omni Knight, though, the final pick for Onyx, again, pretty snap pick, like I said. Is there an obvious reason to you as to why Omni Knight makes sense here? Is the repel maybe just going to be really good? What's the deal?
I wouldn't have guessed it, and in terms of synergies, there's not really much. I mean, Omni Knight has been proven to be a pretty competent offlaner, as we can see this poor man's shield being picked up by Bulba, and he's just going to go straight over there. And like I had mentioned, there is a fair amount of magic damage on DileCom, and so if you just repel yourself, it's pretty easy to offlane. The problem is that you may have mana issues as an Omni Knight because you also want to be able to use Purification to farm because it's kind of difficult to get close to the lane, especially against a Winter Wyvern. But yeah, I mean, armor is great, Guardian Angel against Sven, but I wouldn't have picked it first, so I'm curious to see what they do with this Omni Knight.
Yeah. Again, clearly had a mindset that they liked the hero with the way how quickly they picked him up. But as mentioned, he's going to have that poor man shield headed towards the top lane. Looks like he might even be checking out the top rune up here. He's positioned as if he's kind of curious to. Also just kind of being a scout for the Shadow Fiend who wants to pick up the top rune. And make sure
yeah, because this is actually a reasonably aggressive lineup that DileCom have. They could challenge runes if they wanted to, but it's I don't see it very commonly in professional games, and every time I do, it's like basically a 50-50 if it works out, and sometimes the enemy team will just be like, whatever, you can have it. I'm not going to fight.
Yeah. So the runes, no contestant coming out in this time around, and
I'll take that.
that'll be that. But Winter Wyvern, he'll be supporting the Sven at the top lane, of course. Sand King is actually setting a mid.
Oh wow!
And
wait, no, he's just blocking.
It's okay.
Ember was waiting to get the rune.
Confused me for a second right there. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, I was like, what is going on? So yeah, it's gonna be a 4 Sand King, of course, and Ember Spirit does make its way to the middle. So. Ember versus Shadow Fiend middle lane. Earth Spirit, though, nearby, and here we go. Barrels in immediately and can apply some damage. Now, of course, Abed here doesn't have the raises yet, so just going to throw out some auto attacks. But Earth Spirit going to fight his brother in the Ember Spirit here. Are they brothers? I don't even know. I don't even know the lore.
The deepest lore, and the deepest gank. Burrow Strike up on top onto Bulba. Stormhammer.
Block,
I get this.
Kicking in too, yeah, the double stun. Yeah, poor man shield is too strong. Keeps him alive. Too much mitigation, so he'll be fine. Middle lane, I mean, obviously with Earth Spirit being here, you'd expect Shadow Fiend to have a really good time, as he definitely is having a good start. I mean, he's just going to keep going, actually. So I was going to say, is there hope for Ember Spirit to maybe, like, pull ahead of Shadow Fiend even, or is this start just going to really excel Shadow Fiend here?
Only if Ember Spirit, if Shadow Fiend gets such a large lead that some sort of turnaround by Sand King gets a really good kill, because I've seen plenty of mid lanes turn around just from one support rotation. But if they're going to just stay one-on-one, or it's not even one-on-one, it's one-on-two. If they're just going to stay one-on-two, Ember Spirit is going to hate his life.
Yeah. Top lane, Omni Knight. He was collapsed on it quite a bit earlier, but again, they're not able to get the kill. Bulba seems like he knows his limits pretty well. Mentioned has that purification, and Repel's going to be coming up shortly. He's trying to leech enough experience to at least get level 2. So it would make him a lot more difficult to kill on top of that. Bottom lane, Darkseer could be in some trouble. Earth Spirit here. He doesn't know that. Puts the Iron Chill up, has a Surge, going to run the other direction. But it's going to be tough test to get out of here. Going to be lifted up, thrown right on down. Do they have enough follow-up damage? They do not. And 208 will survive for the time being. The final auto attack still not enough. That Stout Shield actually keeping him alive, and he's going to heal on up.
You know, these shields keeping these offlaners alive, because actually just now Bulba was surviving another 3-man attempt on him as he finally did hit level 2 after intercepting this large pull camp. And so it's a story of tanky offlaners as he yet again another attempt on the Darkseer.
Slam him into the ground, and this time they got it. First blood comes out. Mason takes a lot of damage, and so does Dubu, but you know, sometimes you gotta take a lot of damage to make that kill happen. So finally, the first blood. But yeah, these offlaners proven to be a pretty difficult task in terms of actually killing here.
And now Sand King going to return the favor after Earth Spirit spent so much time mid. It looks like there might be another rotation. It's only level 2 Sand King though, so Burst Strike range is pretty paltry, but if they can get a setup for Ember Spirit, who's actually leaving, so never mind.
I feel like Ember Spirits has been in the jungle for a while. I've kind of been noticing on the minimap that his icon's been over here in the jungle quite a bit. And Shadow Fiend, I mean, 20 and 3 free farm here in the middle lane. So does that surprise you that Ember Spirits maybe been jungling instead of laning quite a bit?
I think he's concerned if he can't see the Earth Spirit. As soon as the Earth Spirit's on the map, then he's like, okay, I can go to the lane. But if Earth Spirit's nowhere to be seen, then it's almost like being afraid of a Nyx assassin. Then you're just like, I don't want to have to risk any of this.
Yeah.
Someone else like my Sand King can go pop a smoke and might get killed.
Throwing. Wow. Yeah,
It's called tanking the gank.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I found them, guys. Found the smoke gank. Happened to be right here in the middle lane. So yeah, it's nothing he could do to that. Just simply got caught by the smoke and thrown in the air, and that's a 2-0 start now for Team Onyx. So again, Abed here looking very good. Ring of Aquila finished. That net worth, he's the first one to hit over 2,000. Juggernaut also, though, doing pretty good.
What is going on? Darkseer's playing super aggressive. Gonna get the kill, actually.
There you go.
It's almost definitely gonna die. That's okay. That's hashtag worth.
Absolutely. And I was just talking about how well Juggernaut is doing, so sorry about that. But good job by Darkseer, though. Again, he's proven to be a difficult hero to kill, and especially in a 1v1 like that. And most certainly, he's going to be able to run you down with that Ion Shell, and it's hard to fight it off, especially with no spin ready to go, of course. So, well played middle lane. Oh, Sand King, enough range on the Burrow Strike. It's only level 1, so yeah, didn't really feel confident. Chose not to go, and now Winter Wyvern actually could be in some trouble. Pops the Arctic Burn, trying to fly over the ledge, and Rubik says, no, get back here. That's a kill onto him. So 4-1 start now for Onyx.
Even without having played the first handful of matches, Onyx is fitting Abed into their lineup perfectly. This rotations, there's such good communication, the raises into the drop, which it's not elaborate, but it still requires some communication within your team, and I've seen plenty of professional teams mess up simple combos just because they're not on the same page, and right now Onyx are looking like they're definitely on the same page with each other.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point to bring up, because as we've been mentioning, I mean, this is the debut of Abed here with his team, and this is a new team altogether. I mean, I'm sure maybe these players individually, and perhaps they have skirmished a little bit, you know, obviously knowing that they're going to be in these qualifiers and everything, but this is their first official match together, and yeah, he's most certainly kind of stepped in pretty well. Now, obviously, last game, you know, he really just did his own thing, to be frank, but this time around, yes, the coordination's there, as you're pointing out, and it's not necessarily always so easy. So, bottom lane, though, try versus try lane all of a sudden coming out, and Onyx going to play it somewhat safe here. Hug the tower, and yeah, they're going to fall back. DileCom realizing that not going to have an easy victim there. All right, so speaking of Abed here on Shadow Fiend, talking about this play, let's talk about it some more. He's going to get power treads here. What does he go for? Does he go more of the Shadow Blade? Does he get the Yasha and a Manta? What's the deal? Dragon Lane?
I think this game, he could definitely afford to go Shadow Blade. I don't really know if he'll go for the first full Silver Edge. It's great against Sven for the break, who is getting ganked up top right now. More great communication coming out. See if they can get the kill.
Look at that Warcry, man. He just tanked them up. Even level 1 Warcry, 5 bonus armor, more than enough to keep him alive right there through all that physical damage coming out. Now, actually, Earth Spirit going a little bit too deep. The Omni heal's not enough, and he'll get turned. So not only Sven survives, but they turn on Earth Spirit, actually.
Yeah, Repel not high enough level to have a low cooldown. Otherwise, this is just a taste, though. Repel is going to start getting leveled, and a lot of DileCom heroes are not going to be able to deal with a repelled up Shadow Fiend, which is why I think he can get aggressive with his item choice, go for something like a Silver Edge, or maybe even a Blink Dagger if he wants, because Shadow Fiend's #1 weakness is going to be mitigated by this Omni Knight presence, who's gotten a good enough start that they can snowball off of what Omni Knight can offer within the first 10 minutes of the game.
Rubik taking advantage of some free farm at the top lane, but yeah, the Dragon Lance coming out for Shadow Fiend, as mentioned, going to be queued up here. When he's able to get that at this rate of farm, though, should be pretty quickly. 3,800 net worth now and rising. Juggernaut, mentioned earlier, he's having very good farm. He died shortly after that, but he's back up to still having pretty good farm. Darkseer continuing to apply that pressure with the Ion Shell, making it somewhat difficult. As over here at the top rune area, 8-minute rune. It's going to be picked up. It's a double damage, but Shadow Fiend gets caught, though. Double stun. There's a third stun with the Stormhammer, but here comes the Omni-Knight. Repel's put up. No Requiem just yet. Turning around with some race, though. Gets the kill on his Sven. Does drop shortly after, but at least he took him with him. Are we going to see more, though? The silence comes out from Earth. The Purification at the last second. The Boulder Smash through. They don't have necessarily the most follow-up damage, but they will stay alive. As Rubik coming in, though. Barrel roll forward. Does he have another burst strike? He does. The Fade Ball, he needs to go over the ledge, right into the Ancients. Oh, God, that was scary. He is going to survive, though, in the long run.
Yeah, I don't really know what Demon was up to. We just saw how he was free-farming top, and that fight was going on for quite a while, and only at the tail end of it did Demon finally show up. But at least Shadow Fiend got the kill on the Sven before he died, and so being able to get that on the one position is really great, even though Ember Spirit did get a kill, and Darkseer goes down to an Omni Slash in the bot lane.
It's just kind of sad but funny, because I literally jumped away from my camera right as he started the Omni Slash, and I go back, and then Darkseer's dead. So
Blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah, pretty much. So quick Omni Slash and easy kill on a Darkseer. As a result, it's a good job by Mason right there, knowing the positioning and figuring that he had the free kill, and sure enough, he did. But yeah, Sven again, able to survive that last attempt on him. He does max out the Great Cleave first, and it looks like he's going to be building into that armlet here as far as his first item. Does he go the Echo Saber here, you think? You know, really kind of maximize that farm earlier on, or is going to maybe get the blink, more team fight? What?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's going to change depending on how these next few minutes go, because he might even need to go for a BKB very early on, because Rubik's telekinesis and these silences and stuns from the Earth Spirit are a big problem for a hero that gets so easily kited as a Sven. And a Blink Dagger would be great, but I don't think he'll be able to kill a target before Omni-Knight can help that target out, unless if he blinks on the Omni-Knight. And now Demon might get what a position.
Demon, though, yeah, they didn't see him initially. They were going for Shadow Fiend. Requiem of Souls going off, though. Does catch Ember Spirit as well. Sand King getting low. Another raise comes out, and he goes down, actually. I bet there's the Purification, and cut the wall coming from Darkseer, but it seems like Onyx is winning this by big time. Darkseer will fall, and now it's just Sven and Winter Wyvern. They're on the run. Winter has a Cold Embrace. Going to use it right here, I'm sure. Maybe. There we go. He uses it, but it's just delaying the inevitable. Double kill for Rubik, who got the Burrow Strike as mentioned. They finish off Winter Wyvern, and you better cancel that TP or not. That timing on the Remnant was perfect by Dubu. I don't think he should have ported in, though, to be fair.
Yes, that is absolutely true. But really, can you plan for such a thing? I'm sure he probably shift queued Burrow Strike and still. The impeccable timing, really nice fight by Team Onyx, and this is what I was concerned about. You may be able to get initiation, but if you can't stop the Omni-Knight from getting his spells off, then you're not going to be able to finish off the fight. And they had some initiation. It wasn't the best because Rubik on Demon kind of intercepted the Sand King and then stole Sand King's initiation by taking the Burrow Strike. So yeah, it wasn't the best position to take a fight, or maybe it was just godlike positioning by Demon.
Yeah, seems like he did pretty well that fight. As you mentioned, picking up the double kill, that Burrow Strike, one of the better abilities you can no doubt steal here, especially mid-fight like that. And, you know, obviously, again, that started with the initiation on the Shadow Fiend, but the lack of follow-up damage clearly coming into play between the Guardian Angel, the Purification Heal, and, of course, that Repel from Omni-Knight. Difficult tasks ahead for Team DileCom, it feels like. And Sven, he's still even trying to finish that armlet. So yeah, he didn't even have the armlet as they were making that fight happen. Now, Ember Spirit does have the Veil at least. But there's an item that I noticed. Oh, yeah, it is going to be a Shadow Blade on Shadow Fiend coming up. So he is going to go that route after the Dragonlance at least.
Yeah, Dragonlance is the staple. After that, it's kind of dealer's choice in this game. Like I said, Shadow Blade is going to be able to, even though it's kind of a glass cannon item on a Shadow Fiend, it's okay because this is plexiglass cannon when you have an Omni-Knight behind him repelling, and it's gonna be Mason just barely getting out of a smoke gang. Doesn't even pop the smoke, so gonna waste some more time from DileCom as they're like, where the hell is that person who was just here?
Yep, he is. He's in the middle lane with the rest of his team, and they're headed towards the top lane as they're smoked up themselves. Middle lane, tower. Oh, nice deny actually by Winter Wyvern. Ports in and manages to deny the tower before they're able to finish it off, so nice little play right there for DileCom to be satisfied with. But top lane Sven, he could be in some trouble up here. He's running back, but he's running right into a trap. Yeah, you're right. They do have vision. There's the Burrow Strike from good old Rubik. And that's a couple of raises. Earth Spirit's got it
Bottom tower
with
is
that
under
boulder
attack.
smash. So they have the vision as mentioned with the ward behind the tower. And then that's my horrible circle attempt. And then here's the tower kill on top of that.
Sven has Blink Dagger queued up right now, but it's a very optimistic queue because the way that the game is going right now, they can't even kill this Omni Knight mid, who's just face tanking a bunch of, well, I guess a level 3 Bro Strike? Oh, I thought it was, could have sworn it was max, but yeah. Well, I guess Sand King is even more underleveled than I thought. And
level 6,
yeah. I mean, and Sven, he's hoping to defend this top lane, but I don't think they're going to be able to do anything.
No, Onyx winning that bottom fight especially, it really put them so far ahead this early on in the game, upwards of 70. And this is a great team fight early on in the game, team too. As Earth Spirit's going to get caught, already porting out was one hero. I think Shadowfiend also got out of here too. So, yeah, Onyx has to play the run game, and it looks like for the most part they should be fine. Juggernaut gets away, and yeah, Shadowfiend and Omni Knight at the bottom lane. They're now going to push it out even more. So they all get away. Shadowfiend leading the push down here. As where's that Shadow Blade, by the way? Did he finish it? What's on the courier? It's a Yasha. Okay, he actually changed his mind. I'm about to go in the Yasha now. Into the Manta.
Okay. I guess maybe he's concerned about if Ember Spirit gets a nice root onto him, then there's a lot of follow-up that can come afterwards. So it's I guess worth purging top lane though. Goodbye, Sven.
I saw earlier. He tanked it quite a bit. Yeah, as you mentioned, 2 supports. Here comes a Cold Embrace as well. Maybe Winter's Curse to try to help save the day. In the back around, the wall goes down though. The Burrow Strike through from Rubik yet again. And there's the Omni Slash smash. One more auto attack. He manages to live though. He gets hit over the armlet toggle actually. And there's the Winter's Curse on to Mason in the background. But now he's turning on a Darkseer. So Sven will survive while running for most of that fight. Another Cold Embrace coming out. This Winter Wyvern, I gotta say, is doing a lot of work in terms of keeping teammates alive. And now Demon, he's in trouble. The Stormhammer's still, and he uses it. Only to delay his death, though, and he's dead for 30 seconds now. So, Winter Wyvern, the MVP of that fight, I think.
Definitely. That Winter's Curse at the last second. It didn't get any kill on the Juggernaut, but it saved Sven's life. And Mason had this Purge Creep, this 3-second cooldown Purge Creep, which he used twice on the Sven. He used it to start the gank, or I guess start after the Rubik had already initiated. And then proceeded to purge off the Warcry as soon as it came out on Sven. And he could have used it some more and maybe would have gotten the kill on the Sven if he was just constantly spamming out the purge, which is why Sven did not care about killing any heroes. He was just like, I'm just going to kill this goddamn satyr to make sure it doesn't purge me anymore, and then wants to make it out barely alive. But now Mason's got a fresh one, and that's going to continue to be an issue for Sven, which is why I still think that a BKB might be the play. It's a very conservative choice, but it's not that bad for Sven because God's Strength buffs you up from your strength, I guess, attribute, and BKB gives a fair amount of strength in addition to damage, and of course the Avatar active is going to be invaluable this game, but we'll see. Smash still wants to take it aggressive, and hopefully that won't come back to bite him.
Yeah, the Blink Dagger, 1,200 gold saved up, so we'll see again what kind of play they're able to make once he gets it. Speaking of that, Sand King, more traditional Blink Dagger, you would expect to see for sure, and he has it queued up, but again, gonna be a while before he manages to pick it up here. 1,500 gold on Ember Spirit, meanwhile. Also a candidate for a Blink Dagger possibly, but maybe not this game, especially with a couple others going for it. Darkseer has the combo of the mech and the Arcane Boots. Off to the side, Dubu. He's scouting it out as his team's doing Roshan. They see him there now as a Remnant used through. And Dubu's going to fall back. The Stormhammer just simply to stun him as he's running away, but no follow-up. However, Team Onyx, they definitely wouldn't mind picking a fight right now. Rubik, what did he get? He got an Ion Shell. Okay. Something. He's going to put it on Juggernaut and assist for the Roshan kill.
Radiant's middle tower
Making use of it.
DileCom doesn't feel confident going for this fight. I don't know if they know that Healing Ward was used, because Juggernaut was pretty low. But in comes initiation now.
Yeah, worst case scenario fighting right after they get the Aegis. Big stun in the background. The vacuum pulling in a couple. No follow-up though. Winter's Curse actually on a Juggernaut. He's spinning through. He is going to survive throughout that. Smash in the background gets a stun, but out comes the Guardian Angel. And the Requiem of Souls on top of that. Smash is like, holy crap, I got to get out of here. He will be able to get out of there some way, somehow, but Winter Wyvern, not the same story. He goes down. 1-0 so far. Ember Spirit jumps back in. Pretty yellow of him. But he's feeling good. Stormhammer stun in the background, catches a couple. There's the cleave damage. Not enough, though. The guy's strength, he's going to be locked down. He's stunned. He's dead. Sven goes down 45 seconds. He does have a buyback. Ain't going to use it, though. Sand King also picked off. And the fight well in favor of Team Onyx. As soon as that Guardian Angel come out, as it tends to so often, the fight just went well in favor of Onyx there.
Dubu is crushing it on this Earth Spirit. Even just before DileCom even wanted to go into the pit, made sure he stunned out and silenced 2 DileCom heroes. And then after that, Sven had an amazing Stormhammer onto the Shadow Fiend and the Rubik. And he was just one right click away from getting the kill, but if he doesn't have spell immunity, he's going to get stunned. And this time he got stunned by the Boulder Smash, and then after that just got raised down. Armor doesn't matter if there's this much magic damage.
Look at this. They're going to siege the base at 18.5 minutes, working off of that team fight. Pearl Strike actually missing right there. But Omni Knight in the front lines too. He has his own mech, and he's going to activate it as they're running out of the base. Mission accomplished, of course, with the racks destroyed. So DileCom really has their work cut out for them now. Definitely the grind is going to be real. Upwards of about 13,000 net worth lead, about a 7,500 experience lead. And you mentioned Shadow Fiend, the Aegis, the Manta Stun, and the 1,100 gold saved up now on top of that. And then, oh, by the way, there's Mason on Juggernaut. That's not doing too shabby himself. I think he just finished his own Manta.
That's on Helm of the Dominator. It's the thinking man's carry in 7.0. Everyone seems to go for it, and I don't blame them because it works to great success. Now, things might open up a little bit as Abed is considering going for a Blink Dagger, which, speaking of blinks, Sven did manage to complete his Blink Dagger. It's coming in on the Courier. So it's going to be useful. The thing is that I don't really know how many more fights DileCom can take before the game is already lost. They've gotten 1 ranks down, and they barely have cracked, they haven't even touched the tier 2s yet of any of Onyx's towers, yeah.
Yeah. I'm totally with you, and it's not even hindsight. It's kind of the way the game was starting and looking earlier on. Blade Mail picked up an Ember Spear, by the way. He's going to use that right here to help him get out. But yeah, so speaking of somewhat more defensive style of items already coming out, that's definitely the case on the Ember Spirit there. But yeah, the lack of hell, that's another reason. Like, you look at Ember Spear now, the Blade Mail, instead of, say, more aggressive an item to get some good damage out. You mentioned the BKB on Sven that he is working on next, but won't have it now for a bit. Getting that Blink Dagger instead. So overall, the damage output feels like it's going to be really lacking from DileCom. And I think Onyx is totally aware of this because they're just going right into the base yet again. Aegis still up. There's the repel. It's going to wear off there, but he's not scared. He's got the Aegis. He's just going to pound away at the tower. This is going to be a free tower kill.
Wyvern would love to curse, but the thing is that even if someone does stand next, as long as Juggernaut's not standing next to XF, then whoever you curse is going to survive.
Oh, Darkseer, he was just poking in, and he ends up going down. I don't know if he got force-staffed over the ledge or something, but maybe lifted, I guess. Yeah, it looks like Rubik might have lifted him. But anyways, he gets picked up, and there's Winter Wyvern going down. He has a buyback, but this even could be the beginning of the end, the way this is playing out right here. Maybe one last fight. Here we go. Darkseer, he's like, screw it. Let's try something. Has the vacuum wall combination in the background. The Remnants being used. Sand King Epicenter. That's going to be nullified, though. The Guardian Angel out. That's a big vacuum, but the follow-up's just not enough. Although Shadow Fiend's at half-life curly, he still has the Aegis. Out goes the Requiem of Souls, and the auto attacks to follow shortly after. Sand King, Darkseer dead. There goes Sven, and guess who's still alive in the midst of it? It's that Shadow Fiend. You got to thank the team support for sure. He finally goes down, but the Aegis is going to bring him right back up. And here comes the spam pings. I think that's going to be a 2-0 for Onyx here, most likely.
Those are pings of like, you see this guy? You see why we've drafted this? You see why we put him on our roster? This is why we do it. That was this Shadow Fiend was. Well, I can see why Abed has such a high win rate on it. And I mean, obviously, I don't want to give all credit to him. All of Onyx played together as if they've been playing for a very long time. It felt like a seasoned team, and maybe DileCom isn't the most seasoned opponent, seeing as how they are half disbanded. It's basically like a cornucopia of South American players showing up. We have Smash and, well, I guess the only real standards are Van and Z-Talk, but everyone else is kind of just taking a little tour of their team.
Yeah, I was mentioning that earlier as well, even in this event, how it just feels like that DileCom, they kind of just were throwing players at this roster to try to make it for matches. They had so many different lineups at this tournament, so that's one thing to look at this for sure. That let's not get overexcited, but as far as being looking good for Onyx, but I think it does feel good, finally having this full 5-man roster. Bit is a great player, clearly, and this is a team that in the American region, in coming qualifiers here, definitely has potential to maybe do some work. I know the DAC qualifiers are coming up, and I believe that they're in the American region. I'm not 100% sure on that, but whether it's a couple of other events down the line, of course, it's going to be fun to watch this team continue to grow. But Game 2 goes to Onyx, and that means, again, that they are victorious. So, I was mentioning earlier that I don't know if there's going to be a final match. It turns out that there actually is going to be one more game. I did get confirmation for sure that there is going to be one more game, and it will be Doo-Wop versus Team Freedom will be our final match of the night, actually. So we still got one more, guys, so definitely want to sit tight. That one's set to start in about a half an hour from now. So we will have a little bit of a break, but of what is 9 p.m. Eastern or 3 a.m. Central European Time. We'll be back here in about 30 minutes casting Freedom versus Doo-Wop. Should be a fun finish to the night, so look forward to that one, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be back for our final series after a little bit of a break right here. Enjoy your break, guys.